Coming up 78 Denver, take one.
Steve. Marker.
Ultimately, we just want to be able to allow everybody to get together, exchange ideas, and new people, students, people that aren't exposed to sound carts, the E&G crowd, the documentary crowd, allow everybody to sort of see what a sound cart looks like, answer questions, explain why we build carts, and the differences in those two different worlds. They're similar, but they're completely different. I enjoy the challenge, mostly sound mixing, and coming up with clever ways to do it, and more efficient ways to do it, which I think reflects in my builds. And I enjoy the challenge. It's the challenge of capturing good sound and a clean mix. Don't try to buy everything all at once. Lots of good used equipment out there that's still very usable. Just because it's not the latest and greatest doesn't mean that you can't use it. Think about what you need, not just for the job that you might be doing, but think about what's going to last you a really, really long time, and make sure that that you can afford to buy something, and that you're not putting yourself in a position. And renting is always okay, because usually it's not your money, so you're not really losing any money. You might not be making any extra money, but you wouldn't be losing it per se.
Sound mixing for me is I've loved sound since I was an accidental sound man.
Okay.
I was a photography major in college until a incredible sequence of events, which ended up me not having any images to be a photography major. My apartment burned down, so I fell into the soundtrack because I was a musician as well. And when I began recording, I felt part of the creative process. And sound for me is so much part of the creative process. And especially on a show like Glee, I'm able to come in and be a part of what we're delivering. And every day is a different adventure. Some good, some bad, and it's just something I truly enjoy, sound recording. The thing about Glee is our creator really doesn't enjoy ADR at all. So we were given sort of a suggestion early on that we need to get all the dialogue on set, on deck. So. It's a challenge. We've got a big cast. And so we treat everything as if it's, a two-person scene, two people sitting on a couch, even though there may be 20 of them in a choir room. We achieve, we carve every word out of the script. We don't go on, we don't move on until we've gotten the entire scene. So it's quite a challenge. Something that a sound mixer really needs to know is that it's a team effort. And I personally could not do Glee without my team. I've got a big team. I'm really lucky. I know it. But I'm only as good as my team is. And if I don't have, and if I don't allow my boom operators to be out there and do their thing, if I try and curb their enthusiasm, so to speak, I'm limiting myself. So I really let my boom operator and my utility second boom operator run the set. And they're on there more than I am. They know what's going on the set. I may offer a little suggestion here and there. Most of the time it's wrong. And they'll tell me how they're going to do the scene. And then they allow me to mix what they're giving me. It's a phenomenal relationship. And the key is that it's a relationship. Can't do it without a good team.
Well, I've always said that if you put 4 mixers in a room, you'd come up with 6 different ways to do the same thing. We all output the same material in similar ways. How we get it from point A to point B is what's so different. Mm-hmm. And we, as individual mixers, don't ever get the chance to be around all the other mixers. You know, we just occasionally visit a set and we talk to somebody and we see what they're doing or how they're doing it. But to be in a place where there's 15 different mixers and see their carts and see how they get from point A to point B is really good for all of us. Because all of a sudden you'll look and you go, God, that makes so much more sense than the way I'm doing it. And you'll adapt their idea, or they may like what you're doing. You know, and we all have different reasons for what we do. There is no simple answer. The answer is you have to trust this.
Okay.
You have to trust your ears. You have to learn what to listen to, and you have to learn to listen to what's going on the set, because there are things that are said seemingly in passing that are very important to what you need to know. And that's what you have to learn. That's the skill. It's all about listening. If you're a mixer, you have to listen. But part of that listening is not just what you're laying down, but what's around you. Purple is a superstitious color for me, and it goes back to doing purple was always one of my favorite colors.
Okay.
I did a show called Sybil, a sitcom with Sybil Shepherd, and we did a sequence very early on in the series where she had a conversation in her mind on a blind date. And it took us a day to pre-record all 50 of those cues, play them back, cut them, assemble them, edit them, and play them back. First rehearsal went great. Second rehearsal went great. Second day, everything continued great. The third day, nothing worked right. On the fourth day, everything turned around and everything worked correctly.
Okay.
And my A2 on the show, my second on the show, turned to me and goes, "You know, Ed, you wore purple at the beginning of the week. You didn't wear purple yesterday. Now you're wearing purple today." And I looked at him and I said, "You're crazy." And I walked out of the sound booth. I haven't worked without purple around me since then.
That's awesome.
And as things go on a set, it may be a little bit eccentric, but it's harmless. And it's actually fun for the crew.
That's very true.